aerospace and defense manufacturing.
Machines and automation.
Additive manufacturing.
Smart manufacturing.
Global manufacturing economy.
Welcome to Advanced Manufacturing Now, the podcast for manufacturing professionals, powered by SME. From the design screen to the shop floor to final assembly, we drive the conversation about making manufacturing smarter by connecting people who are passionate about manufacturing.
Hello, and welcome to Advanced Manufacturing Now, the podcast for manufacturing professionals. I'm your host, Steve Plum, Editor-in-Chief for SME Media. Please remember to like and subscribe to get new episodes delivered to your feed each week. I'm joined today by my colleagues Stacy Eman, Director of Industry Strategy, and Dave Morton, Group Director of the Manufacturing Technology Series events. We're here today to talk about the AeroDef Manufacturing Show, which is set for April 8th through the 10th in Detroit. Dave, Stacy, first of all, welcome to the show. It's hard to believe that AeroDef now is less than a month away. It's getting pretty exciting.
Thanks, Steve.
Thanks, Steve. It really is. It's coming quickly.
So, Stacy, while you've been instrumental in all the aspects this year and putting together AeroDef, Dave, you've been involved in it for many years. Can you just kind of start us off by giving us a little bit of an overview of what AeroDef is and why it's important?
Yeah, sure, Steve. AeroDef actually started, at the beginnings of AeroDef started as an aerospace automation consortium. And it started in the early 2000s as that, when the organization first collaborated with the aerospace primes to better understand the aerospace industry's talent and technology needs. And after several years of that consortium's successful outcomes, we then launched the AeroDef manufacturing event more than a decade ago. I think 2011 is when it first launched. And because we saw a real gap in the industry for an event focused on exposing the needs of the primes and the OEMs and government. So we created a platform that allowed for them to drive down into their supply chain the strategic exchange of vision, practical and technical information across the supply chain.
So I imagine a lot's changed over the years, especially 4 or 5 years ago with COVID, and some people are rethinking their strategies around industry events like this, whether it's from an exhibitor standpoint or an attendee standpoint. Why is it still important to have that face-to-face interaction?
SMEs events, provide that powerful face-to-face experience, right? So face-to-face is just another way that we build a stronger relationship. And, they can inspire, educate manufacturers because you see things face-to-face. And I think when you're looking at enabling technologies and materials and the applications that you might want to consider those for, it's great to be able to real time ask the question and get the answer, right? We're more than an exhibit floor as well, right? We have this synergy that comes when you've got the biggest names in the industry. We have an enabling technology, display area. We also have a significant conference component where we've got, the leaders of the industry sharing their knowledge. And, we're here to show everyone the technical advancements and the experiences in developing a better, faster, cheaper way of doing things. We also have presentations on the show floor. So you can really get a strategic view, a technical view, and a practical application all in one place, right? And we are always working with the leading voices in the industry. So you've got your primes, your OEMs, and your government. So you think Defense Department, you've got, anything air, land, sea, and space we try to represent here.
So we're all based in the Metro Detroit area, so that makes it nice for the three of us that the show is based in locally here. But why is it important from an industry standpoint?
Steve, the reason it has become imperative that we brought it to the Midwest or to the Detroit, Michigan area is the substantial amount of manufacturing for aerospace and defense that occurs in the state of Michigan. Over 5,000 suppliers are designated such. And that allows for a really good baseline for the arsenal of democracy, which is now being referred to as the arsenal in the 21st century. How are we bringing innovation to manufacturing and advancing that? You have a really good powerhouse of manufacturing in this region. On top of that, the state of Michigan alone has an initiative to advance aerospace and defense initiatives. Because we have 17 installations in the state of Michigan that range from land to air, it is very important to collaborate to advance manufacturing with new technologies and adoptions of changes within technologies so that we can get our products to the civilians and the warfighters quicker. So for Detroit, it is the arsenal of the 21st century, and we need to support that. So Michigan has actually set up the Office of Defense and Aerospace Innovation that is prominent in our state and supportive of initiatives like what we're doing, bringing a very large footprint show focused on aerospace and defense, advancing manufacturing.
Yeah, I think most people think of Detroit primarily just for the auto industry and don't realize what a presence aerospace and defense has here. That being said, who can we expect to see at the show? What types of companies are exhibiting?
The fun part about this year in 2025 is the new opportunities we have with companies that have never positioned themselves at SME show, let alone AeroDef out on the West Coast. So it's kind of given us a fresh opportunity to bring in new companies. Even if they are from around the nation, they're looking at us at advancing through land, sea, space, and air. So they are bringing their technologies like Flak Tech, like Lock Industries, like several others like Anka, who does grinding of everything from cutting tools to very high-end micro finishes into our footprint to allow for that crosstalk and innovative conversations that can occur to advance manufacturing.
Yeah, I would say too, there are a lot of companies out there just always pushing, right? Electro Impact comes to mind. They are a really remarkable supplier. Anything you can do with a robot and put anything on the end of a robot, they're doing it. So there's a lot of really interesting enabling technologies that we're always trying to provide that platform, right? And turn people on to the new technologies and materials available.
Being at the show is, in the Midwest and in Detroit this year, do you expect to see a lot of new faces that maybe hadn't been out to previous versions of the show, or a mix of past exhibitors and new companies?
Steve, this year for the footprint, it's substantially new exhibitors. So that gives us, a really nice insight into what's going on. We repositioned it in the nation. So now maybe it's easier for people to get to this show. But I think the interesting part is AeroDef has had a substantial reputation. And so I think it's very exciting for the Midwest to bring them into this area. They feel they're going to have a collaboration with many aerospace companies that come from the West Coast.
So talking about new, I may have buried the lead here, and one of the exciting new aspects of the show is that it's being co-located in Detroit this year with our own Rapid Plus TCT, which of course focuses on additive manufacturing, but also with two industry partners, SAE and America Makes, with the WCX World Congress event and America Makes' technical review, TRX. What's the significance of that and the benefits of doing that?
When you look at the people and the companies that are partner SAE, International is bringing to WCX, whether it's electrical engineering or software or mechanical engineering. They're bringing, industry professionals who are working, directly on things that are applicable to what's going on in aerospace and defense. It's all about mobility. And then America Makes, our friends there, bringing TRX, which is a technical exchange. It's all going to be about technical innovation and development in additive manufacturing and in programs that America Makes is helping oversee for the U.S. government. So, we've got synergy taking place here in Detroit. And you've also got the intense focus on AM technology, materials and composites. And, Rapid Plus TCT is an event which drives a lot of aerospace and defense sectors forward. So I think when you look at just the synergy value of bringing everybody together, it's singularly focused. We're together in mission, driving and lifting manufacturing.
And I'd like to add to that, the purpose of going from submarine to space and talking about mobility, which has created the opportunity for us to create drones and UAVs. Also for the Department of Defense, MII, America Makes, it's substantially a footprint within the Department of Defense for sustainment for all sectors in the military. So it's very critical for all of us to be talking and collaborating. The strength of that collaboration to advance technology and its adoption of that technology is incredibly imperative for the future of all of our mobility opportunities, whether it's, car on land, tank in theater, however that is prescribed. This is what will make a more robust future, is that strength and collaboration.
So any other new wrinkles that past attendees can look forward to?
Oh, I wouldn't call it a wrinkle, but I would say that if you've been to AeroDef before, since I want to say 2012 AeroDef, you've seen our center stage within the exhibit floor. We reference it as the deck. And that's where you have your, show floor theater. So we'll have the deck again. And we also have first of its kind knowledge bar sponsored by the Apex Accelerators, which, if you don't know, is a federal program that helps businesses pursue and service the government contracts and contacts for the Department of Defense and other agencies. So they can step you through on how to do business with the government, or they can help you navigate on the best ways to approach your business with the government. And the knowledge bar is going to provide some real value, because the accelerators, the Apex accelerators, will guide you through exploring certifications, innovative programs, however they can make your life easier in working with the federal marketplace. So that's really cool for us to be able to have, and we're appreciative of them. I think, the other thing about AeroDef as an event, we keep saying show, but it's really an event, because you've got a show floor for practical technology exploration. You've got the technical conference, and then you've got these, the deck theater, where you've got these real leading industry voices sharing strategy and direction for the industry. So I think that is something that you'll continue to always get at AeroDef.
So the name AeroDef obviously is for aerospace and defense. A lot of overlap between the two industries, but also very distinct. Would you consider this more of an aerospace event or a defense event, or how is it? How are the two integrated?
Well, I think if you're coming to AeroDef, you're gonna find everything from ground systems to sea, air, land, and space, right? Both in terms of defense focus and civilian aerospace. So we're working hard to maintain a good balance between the two. We've invested a lot of time and effort in strengthening the defense side of the house for this year's event, because, as we said, the Midwest is a region where a lot of this is happening, and especially locally here in Detroit. And so we want to make sure we're providing as much value as we can for those companies and individuals who will join us.
So we talked a little bit about what's new and what some of the key components of the event are, but haven't really looked at some of the speakers, some of the unique features. Anything in particular that either one of you are looking forward to, in terms of speakers or activities?
I think for this year, we are bringing a focus on many aspects that are advancing the defense side of the sector, as well as the aerospace side of the sector, from conference to the deck, and with the answers from the knowledge bar. And I just want to share that for the United States Army, they've recently really applied digital engineering through the XM30 program. Colonel Durand is the PM for that and led that entire digital application for both prototypes from both of the primes, which is very exciting advancement for the strategic value and accessibility to equipment to the theater. On top of that, you're adding a conference that is, presented from academia and primes, and these leaders that bring great conversations on new technologies or advancements within manufacturing that can really be adopted and transform the future of aerospace and defense manufacturing. So you have U of M, you have the United States Army DevCom, you have various aerospace and defense contractors that are presenting papers on really incremental changes and adoptions that need to happen in the industry. And that's very exciting. We have some leading composite panels that will talk in depth from air or land or new technology application on where we can take composites into the future. And also, to add to that, the Navy has been a big part of the conversation. And in the state of Michigan, it's been a highlighted focus through our workforce development initiative through M3 with Macomb Community College and the Navy. And we're going to bring in a supplier that's, taking the first cohort of employees into their business and advancing and diversifying their business into Navy sustainment work. So this is a very exciting time, and all of this will be covered through our conference in the deck.
I think the other thing too is it's really nice to see the evolution of AeroDef. We used to have strong relationships with AFRL, right, Air Force Research Laboratory, JPL, at Pasadena, because we were on the West Coast a lot, right? We were aerospace centric. But now that we're expanding out and really fulfilling the mission of AeroDef as an event, to reach into those, the geography where the aerospace supplier manufacturing takes place, we're getting into our sweet spot now. And we're getting into that part where we've expanded and we're going to everybody that plays a role. Like Stacy and I had talked about, enabling technologies and materials, you can do a lot of different things with those. You can make a lot of different things. And this is an event where you can actually, you never know who you're going to sit next to. That's the power of face-to-face. And then you've also got, hey, can it work on this application? Can it work on that application? Can I talk to you after? That's what you get, the power of that face-to-face synergy. And I think that's what we're really looking forward to as well here.
Yeah, I think the networking aspect is very important. Like you said, you never know who you're gonna bump into and meet along the way. It definitely sounds like there's a lot going on at the event, but and sometimes it can be a little bit overwhelming for attendees, especially people that are new to the industry or haven't been to the show before. How can people better prepare in advance for the show?
The best thing you could do is to register early so that you will receive all of that pre-event information. So the biggest thing you can do probably is to register to attend or get a conference pass, so you're able to attend the sessions and maximize what you're able to get out of the event. And then download the SME Plus app that has the AeroDef event in it. And you'll stay connected. And I really think, the earlier you register, the more information you receive about the event. So then you're better able to plan your participation. So I think that would be like the number one thing would be to go ahead and register for it. And we have a real simple address. It's aerodefevent.com. And then you can get everything from the website.
Sounds good. Stacy, Dave, thanks again for joining us today. So this year will be the first time I've had a chance to visit AeroDef. I've been with the company now 3 years or so. Definitely looking forward to it. It's only a few weeks away, but it's not too late to register, as Dave just noted. Can you give us that address one more time, Dave?
Sure. It's aerodefevent.com.
Thanks again. And to learn more about the latest manufacturing trends and hear more of our podcast, visit advancedmanufacturing.org and be sure to like and subscribe to our feed.